We welcome in Campbell head coach John Andrzejek and sophomore forward Dovydas Butka. Fresh off a national title as an assistant coach with the University of Florida, Andrzejek enters his first season at Campbell and his first season as an NCAA Division I head coach. Joining Andrzejek in Buies Creek is preseason All-CAA honorable mention Dovydas Butka, who nearly averaged double figures in scoring as a freshman at Pepperdine with 9.6 points and 6.1 rebounds per game. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on an incredible 2025 thus far. You land the Campbell job during the NCAA tournament, you win a national championship, and then a week later you're in Buies Creek, and then you're hitting the ground running recruiting. Have you had a chance to process all of this in the last 6 months?
I've been trying to. I got out of the country for a week for a little vacation after the madness of putting together a staff and a roster and practicing over the summer. But it's been pretty much bang bang. But I really like where we're at. I think we're having good practices, and I'm excited to get to our first scrimmages.
Griffin, I'll turn it to you.
Hey, Coach, great to see you as always. When we first talked right after you got the job, there was so much emphasis on trying to build a culture early. Just what was that process like for you in the off season and how it's been thus far?
Yeah, I mean, I really think culture starts with getting the right people on the bus. So we tried to prioritize getting guys with great attitudes, guys that are going to work really, really hard, and guys that are going to take a lot of pride in wearing this jersey and being here at Campbell, you know. So uh, that's the biggest thing. And then after that, it's just kind of showing them what the standard is every day and competing against ourselves to try to reach it and try to up it on a daily basis.
Coach, talk a little bit about that standard. What are your top three expectations when it comes to this season and your group of guys?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be a team that defends, that rebounds, and that takes care of the ball. That has kind of been our blueprint in this coaching tree every step of the way, whether it was at Washington State or Columbia or San Francisco. I think that those three areas get you through the rainy days when maybe you don't shoot it as well as you'd like, or things aren't going your way. You don't get a call or something. So we're trying to make sure we have a backbone and we have a foundation that we're really building the program on.
Dovydas, obviously you make your transition from the West Coast at Pepperdine to now the East Coast in Buies Creek. What about Coach? What about Campbell had made this a spot you wanted to be this year?
So yeah, I transferred from WCC because my teammates from Lithuania played in Gators also. He said a lot of good things about our coach. So that was like
He was lying. None of
nah,
it's true.
that's true. So we had a meeting at the Zoom, and he said like I'll have good opportunity to show myself here. So that's why I came here.
Jerry, turn it to you.
Hey, John, what is there about the first, 6, 7 months as a head coach that you've learned that you could have possibly have learned despite all your time on a bench? What's the biggest thing you learned as a head coach that you couldn't have known without experiencing it yourself?
All right, this one's pretty specific, but just the pace at which you have to make big decisions for the program in this chair is totally different. I mean, you're making 20 important decisions every day, especially as the program's getting founded. And as I've gone along, I've gotten more decisive at just going with my gut, doing what we think is right. Because in some cases, if you take too long to make that decision or take that player or scrub it down too much, there's missed opportunities too.
Thank you.
Griffin.
Dovydas, this one's for you. As an international player, what's it like for a lot of other international guys on the roster? Because this Campbell team has a lot of foreign flavor for this upcoming season.
So we don't have Europeans, just my brother. So it's a bit different because they like African, so it's not the same, but we have like similar difficulties. Some guys just starting playing like a freshmen and Australians, Africans, so they just like starting to learn basketball in the States. So I see similarities like in my first year, so what they have now, so I can help them. And yeah,
There's definitely some Lithuanian being spoken in practice. I'm trying to keep it under control. Have everybody speak the same language to each other. But when those two aren't on the same page, they go back at each other pretty quick.
Guys, let's turn into the schedule that you've been able to sculpt up here. It's a loaded schedule. Is I guess the best way to put this is there any games that you really have focused on? Obviously, game one is going to be crucial, but you really loaded up your schedule to play some really top tier opponents. Talk about what that schedule looks like.
Yeah, I mean, first off, it's without a doubt the hardest schedule in program history. We're playing six big time power conference schools on the road, playing Hall of Fame coaches, some of the best barns venues in this country, and some future NBA players. And for me, it was important to challenge this team. I think the CAA is a really strong conference, and it's a conference that continues to get better and better, and our best chance to be able to be at our best come conference tournament time was to go through these obstacles in the non-conference.
Delante?
Good afternoon, Coach. I was wondering with the roster turnover, how has the continuity been in practice and some of the workouts, and who are some of the guys that you can look forward to kind of taking a leap or a bigger step into a bigger role this year?
Yeah, two returners that I think will see a jump are Cam Gregory, who's a long wing that gets in the paint, makes good decisions, who also has really developed as a three-point shooter. And then Tassos Cook has taken on a lot of our leadership. He does everything right. He blocks out every time. He cuts hard. Just has a great attitude. And this is his last year, and he wants to go for it. And I think those two have helped us implant our culture. But let's call it what it is too. It's a new program with a ton of new faces, a lot of transfers in there. So we've had to take time to teach everything, teach how we do layup drills, teach how we pass, how we break up press, some of the stuff that maybe you take for granted if you're returning 10, 11 guys. But it's all been good. They've had a great attitude about it. They're working hard, and I think we're making good progress.
Griffin?
Thanks, Coach.
Guys, what's kind of like the level of excitement down there with some buzz, some optimism, a lot of new stuff in the program down there in Buies Creek? Just what's it been like as the season approaches?
So for me, in our schedule, there is a lot of teams that I never played. So I see these games like a opportunity to show myself. So I'm super excited to play against good teams, the ranked teams. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I tell you what, the schedule has made it easier to keep the team motivated. All I got to do is remind them we're going into the kennel, or remind them we're playing Wisconsin on opening night, and we seem to start having a little better practice after that. So it gives us a sense of urgency. Like we know that we need to be great at the stuff that doesn't take talent if we want a chance in these games. Blocking out every time, running the floor as hard as we can, communicating well, out of bounds plays, just all the little stuff, screening.
And then even what about in the community as well? Just since you've gotten there, how you guys have been received too.
Oh yeah. Every time I'm at a restaurant or I'm in Walmart, somebody's coming up, wants to talk about the team. We got some big guys on the team. I know we got a freshman, Daniel Marcellinus, that is one of the biggest players that's ever played here. So everybody wants to ask about him. They see him walking around through the quad, so there's some excitement. Now we got to, I'm a big believer. It's field of dreams. If you build it, then they'll come, so we got to handle our bit and make sure we're where we need to be. And we have the kind of quality in our program that's going to lead to us being able to win some games.
John, last question for you. If there's anything to culminate what you want this first year to be, is there a couple words you could use to describe what your projection is for this year?
I'm not that into that. I mean, I'll give you a funny story. Like, I told the team our first day of practice, I said, "Hey, when do you think last year our Florida team made it a goal to win the national title?" And I went around and asked all of them. They said first day of practice, January 1st, once the selection Sunday. And I said, "No, we never made it a goal. Never." The whole thing was we wanted to have great practices, and when we played, we wanted to prove we were one of the best teams in the country. And that's all coach talked about is prove you're one of the best teams in the country. And so for me, it's less about the goals and where it ends up and more about like we got to have great practices, we got to stick to our processes, we got to compete. If I had to boil it down, I would want people to say that they were a team that competed every single possession.
Coach couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, really appreciate you hopping on this call. The Camels will make their debut on November 3rd, hitting the road and taking on Wisconsin. Guys, once again, thank you for coming in.
Thanks. Have a
Thanks.
great one.
You too.